Hello, hello, hello! Another Wednesday evening na naman po. Andito na naman po kami. Ang inyong lingkod, Sugar
and Spice
and everything nice. Tonight, we promise you we have a very special guest. She's coming shortly. Kaya, very special night sa amin to ni Sugar. Kaya, to start with, magandang gabi, Cayman Brack, Grand Cayman at Little Cayman. Magandang gabi sa inyo pong lahat. At Isani,
good morning, Philippines! From Luzon, Visayas at Mindanao, mula Abra hanggang Sulu. Yes, that's Sulu. And
anong breakfast doon?
Yeah. Imagine ko kasing breakfast na pagkasarap-sarap is yung mainit-init pa naman ni balang na sabak. Tapos iduk-duk mo sa siginamos.
Or, yung na isda.
Yes.
Tapos sinagag na maraming bawang. Ay, wow.
Sir, di gutom na, pwede break muna tayo.
Guys, sit back, relax. It's going to be a very exciting evening. Ang dami po nating pag-uusapan ngayong gabi. At meron po tayong special guest mamaya. Kilalang-kilala siya ng buong Cayman Islands. I'm pretty sure excited na excited ako. Kagabi hindi na ako makatulog. Hindi ko alam kung anong itatanong ko.
Basta ako, sabi ko lang, mag-i-smile lang ako, bahala ka.
Yes. Kaya, invite everybody to watch.
Yes.
Walang iba po kung the lady behind CMR po ang guest namin ngayong gabi ni Ate Sally.
Yes, and to all those who have been watching us since day one until now, thank you. We appreciate
maraming salamat po sa inyo.
And remember always also to watch our YouTube channel, Wednesday Damayan or Damayan Wednesday, whichever comes first.
Don't forget to
like, share, and subscribe. Yes. So, Jing, ang next natin sa ating programang ito ay ang ating mga pasasalamat sa mga sponsors, which are Dr. Greg Donalds of Royal Medical and Wellness Center, David Evans of Prodigy Jewelry, Design and Repair. Wendy's, yes. Huwag kang kalimutan ng Wendy's.
Yes.
Wendy's talaga. Thank you.
Yes.
CNC Grab and Go. JJR Scott.
Yes.
Thank you sa dinner.
Beauty Wonder. Huwag kalimutan.
Yes, of Winter Kennedy. The Beauty Essentials of Gemma Powery.
Yes.
Anna Brinson Nursery. And we have Jessie Pinayhamen of Juvie McLean.
Asian Retail.
Yes, and the Second Chance Strip Shop. Remember,
Of course.
there's 3 locations. Isa sa Strand, isa sa Fast Sign Building, at
No,
isa sa Canon
wala na
Place.
sila sa Fast Sign.
Dalawa na lang.
Nasa Canon Place na po yung dalawang outlet
Dalawa
nila.
na lang pala sila.
Yes.
Okay.
And they're actually having a sale today, sayang. Sana you have, you went there kasi may sale po sila. At I think magkano lang yun, isang each pieces. Kaya just look out always to their Facebook ads kasi doon po nila ina-announce kung kailan po yung mga sale nila or nagto 20% off sila or 50% off. Kaya watch out po lagi ninyo. Check out doon sa site po ng Another Chance Thrift Shop. Sino pa pasasalamatan natin?
Yes, we have Animal Houses, Multi King, and Island Paving always behind us.
Yes,
especially during mga cleanups.
Yes.
And don't forget Western Union.
Anna Brinson.
Yeah, nursery, yes. And guys, we have a new sponsor just this morning. Naisipan ko lang kasi si Kokay nag-post ng poster ng volunteer para sa mga volunteers for this upcoming event, July 3. The first thing na nakita ko is nag-like siya. I know this man. I don't really know him.
Yeah,
but,
familiar.
Yeah. So, he liked the poster. So he goes, "Sir, good morning. Would you like to sponsor our event?"
Yes.
And so, so we have the COE group and Bogey Sands Club of Mr. Morn Books.
Mr. Morn Books. Thank you very much. Thank you for sponsoring and thank you for always supporting Cayman Bayanihan Filipino community.
Remember, siya din yun ang in-expect din natin na maging guest doon sa Mood Swing.
Yes.
Well,
but he's a busy person. So,
Siyempre, pasalamat tayo sa Sumbayanan.
Of course.
Sundi sa kanila, di ba?
Yes. They paved the way also. Isa pang pasasalamatan namin, ito pong nagbigay ng unan sa amin ni Ate Sani. Bing of Vigoro, thank you very much.
Yes,
And
rest in peace.
relax. Hindi! Rest in peace.
Rest and relax.
Ginawa mo naman tayong simenteryo.
I think PE pala ay, akala ko
Relax.
PE. RE pala.
Yes.
Okay, so as announcement, we have another food for a cause for Jason
Yes, yes,
Panoli
yes,
this
yes.
coming Sunday, June 5.
Kaya yung mga gustong umorder na po kayo kasi may
Yes,
food for a cause
because
po para kay
the
Mr.
prayers
Jason.
had been working for Jason. So natanggal na daw po yung Sir D, pagpatuloy mo.
Yung oxygen.
Yung oxygen niya po, tinanggal na po yung oxygen
Okay.
niya. So, he's doing fine. He's
Nagte-therapy siya ngayon.
slowly. Yes, yes.
Pinapaupo siya.
Nakabangon na siya. Yeah. So,
So,
guys, thank you po sa mga
Sa lahat ng mga
panalangin.
nagdadasal, sa
Yes,
lahat ng
sa mga
sumusuporta, maraming
sa mga lahat na nagbigay
salamat.
ng mga coins.
Yes, at
Yes,
mga
thank you,
tulong,
thank you.
tsaka yung mga unanimous na, unanimous,
Anonymous.
anonymous, kasi nandun na ako sa festival. Nakahalata.
Excited ng lahat, di ba?
Kaya nga, parang hindi na ako nakakatulog, panay na ang kulit sa akin ng Michelle, yung poster. Michelle, yung
Yung
reminder.
sponsorship letter.
Yung sponsor-
Yung mga request for yung sa mga magtitinda ng sales na mga ticket.
Ang hirap pala pag ganito. So don't forget po, nakapost din po sa Cayman Bayanihan Facebook account yung Food for a Cause po kay Mr. Jason. It's going to be this coming Sunday. Yes.
So the options for the menus is igado turon with rice. Number 2, grilled liempo with butter veg turon with rice, and grilled chicken butter veg turon with rice. Okay? So
Yes.
those are the options 1, 2, 3.
Yes. Tsaka kung yung iba naman na medyo nagda-diet, magbigay na lang kayo ng donation. Kahit wala ng food.
Kung walang food, magbigay na lang ng
magbigay
pera.
na lang kayo ng donation. I'm pretty sure your $10 will go a long, long, long way. And if you can give more than $10, the more na mas,
Yeah.
Tsaka, nandyan naman si Lord, nakikita yung ginagawa ninyo. It comes back to you in hundreds of folds. Kaya, di ba, Ate Sani? Ba't ka umiiyak na dyan, Ate Sani?
Tumutulong na
Guys,
doon sa mga nakikinig sa atin sa Bulacan, Mac, I love you.
yes. Hi! Magandang gabi. Magandang umaga pala. Of
Yes.
course, wag din natin kalimutan, Ate Sani, to greet all the CBFC volunteers, cluster heads, cluster members, kaban members, lahat ng volunteers po.
Yeah.
Of course, ang aming brothers and sisters sa
And
Mexico.
reminders, maliban doon sa mga volunteers na mga members po natin last year na gustong maging members today, pa rin this year, i-update nyo po ang membership fee ninyo para
Yes.
sa registration ng kaban
Mhm.
and sa membership fee ng
Cayman Bayanihan.
CBFC.
Mhm.
Yes, Cayman. Kasi,
Kayo, nagbayad na kayo?
yes, ma'am, ay sir pala.
Ako nagbayad.
Ikaw, Jing.
Hindi pa.
Kasi,
Aba.
The $25 that you put in kaban goes a long
Si Ferdy ba nagbayad na?
Singilin si Ferdy, singilin si Kukay, singilin si Reggie, singilin si Ate Carmi.
Yes, guys, yes. So, ang sa CBFC din natin, $2 per month or 25 a year kasi
Yes.
may extra na $1 para sa sukli. Sana sa 25. Yeah.
Yes.
Reminders po, lahat-lahat.
Also, nire-remind po namin na this coming weekend, yung Camana Bay Fosters and Airport Fosters, magbibenta po kami ng ticket.
Dito na pala.
Yes, the
Andiyan na.
tickets are already here. Kaya,
Nandito na.
bumili na po kayo
Hold
kasi
on.
sa totoo lang po, yung ibang tickets are already reserved.
Mm,
Marami na pong nagpapa-reserve ng tickets.
the
Kaya,
whole packets.
yes, hindi po ang binibili po ngayon is hindi per piece, per booklet po.
Oh, booklet pala, booklet.
Yes,
Yeah.
and just to remind you, kagaya ng ina-advertise namin, ang premyo po natin ay isang 2013 model na Honda Fit na color silver.
Yeah.
So, mamili na kayo ng mga numbers ninyo.
yes.
So, kung makita ninyo yung mga beauties po at mga mga dudes ng Cayman Bayanihan sa may pintuan po ng Foster's, bumili naman po kayo ng ticket because alam niyo po, ang ticket is hindi lang po dun sa contest, hindi lang po dun sa... Ang ticket po na yan, nakakapagtawid tayo ng pangangailangan ng ating kapwa Pilipino.
Yep.
This,
hindi lang Filipino, Jean.
yes, we also help assist yung mga...
Sa Cayman Island Cancer Society, sa
Yes.
And
Aldasi.
sometimes other nationalities.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Sa
Tsaka yung may nadagdagan tayong beneficiary this year which is Meals on Wheels.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Hindi lang po tayo naka-concentrate sa community natin, Filipino community natin, but we also spread it towards the the Cayman community po. So,
Si Jing. Ay, si Bing.
yes.
Hi, Bing.
Hi, Bing. Magandang gabi. Pasensya na po last week. Very loaded po ang show. Hindi po kami nakabati ni Ate Sunny dun sa mga nanonood. Si Eleanor, huwag ka magtatampo. Hindi ka namin nabati. And yung mga nanonood.
Meron pa tayong recap for last Wednesday na naging guest din natin si Well-Off Office May Galleria.
Yes,
Na
yes.
pinag-usapan ang usapang pera.
Yes.
And also, you had a successful meeting with Georgetown Cluster 2.
Alam niyo, sa
Oo nga, no?
I'm so happy.
Ang ganda ng meeting.
Ang ganda-ganda ng meeting ng cluster ng Georgetown 2 last Sunday afternoon, headed by Miss Jen Castro, assisted by Sheila and also
Maricel.
Andun din si Dong, si Alejandro Salindato was there.
Nandito na siya.
Red Sky is there.
Mhm.
So, we'll take a short break po. Andito na po yung guest natin. Sit back, relax, and watch out for Miss Cayman Marl.
Ganun muna, o mamaya?
And we're back, like what we promised. Guys, me and Ate Sunny can sleep for how many days? Because the CMR lady
Oh my
herself
gosh.
is with us tonight.
Powerhouse before.
If I'm a talker, as Ate Sunny is a talker, for sure this is going to top our night.
It's going to be a big,
Ito yes.
proper talk show tonight. Yes.
Sponsors, I'm sorry if we don't need to cut the show. I mean, to cut for advertisement, but I have to formally introduce our guest
Yes.
for tonight, Ate Sunny.
Sandra Hill, beside me, yes. So she is a local business owner and entrepreneur who has been in business for over 19 years. She enjoys being active in the community and considers herself to be an advocate for the many. So guys, actually I don't have to say a lot because
Who
nobody
doesn't
in Cayman
know?
Islands don't know her. So
Oh my
to cut it
goodness.
short, we have the Wonder Woman, the Superwoman
Oh my
behind
goodness.
CMR.
Yes.
Well, thank you guys so much. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to have
Yes,
you here.
it's a pleasure to
Yes,
be here.
it's our pleasure to
Yes.
have you tonight.
Thank you.
You know, Miss Sandra, every month, me
Yes.
and Sunny usually invites women who are, we call like empowered women.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And because, of course, we are women, we also want to, share and empower because we believe that it's about time that women has to come out
Yes.
to have a voice and to be recognized,
Yes.
and
It's
to,
true.
Yeah.
and
Because I sorry, Jane. I
Mhm.
read that behind a successful man, an empowered woman.
Yes.
But behind an unsuccessful man are two embittered women.
no,
You get?
but
Okay.
but you know what, Miss Sandra,
Yes.
everybody knows Miss Sandra as the CMR lady,
Yes.
the go-to for news,
Mhm.
updates,
Everything.
anything that happens in Cayman, not only in Cayman, even in Jamaica,
Yeah.
the Caribbean, and
Yes.
even in the States.
Breaking news always.
Always.
Yeah.
With all those people, but in a couple of minutes, she already have thousands of viewers.
Oh
and
my gosh.
like last night, I was looking at, how does she do this? But you know what?
Just 1 minute.
But only few people know the other side of Sandra Hill.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's where our interview comes because everybody knows her that she do the news but what is what drives Miss Sandra Hill?
Oh my gosh.
The core, the heart,
Yes.
and the soul.
Oh,
Yes.
wow.
You're
That's
trying
a
to stay
very,
alive.
yes.
That's
That's
what
a hard question.
How did CMR start?
Well, next month we're celebrating our 5th anniversary.
Wow.
So it's going to be 5
Oh, last
years.
year we had
5 years.
this.
Yes.
Because it was
Yes,
also your
it was
anniversary.
right. So June the 29th is 5 years. I cannot believe it.
Wow.
And really it started and it began because I was freelancing for someone else. And I was like, okay, this is a good story. We should cover this. We should cover that. And I found that a lot of times they were like, no, that's too controversial, or I don't know. And one day I just got up and I said, it was like the afternoon. I said, you know what? I'm going to just stop trying to almost convince somebody else to do something I know should be done.
Mhm.
And so I decided I was going to do it myself.
So
Yeah,
it was
and-
not a light bulb, it was a fluorescent bulb.
No, but she went outside the
So-
box, the
Yeah.
conventional type of
Yeah.
providing news. and
Yes.
The style.
Yeah,
of
we wanted
CMR
to
is
be
different.
different.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, everybody else is doing like kind of the same thing.
Yes.
And so we wanted to be different and we wanted to also be like purposeful in the community because there is an element of CMR that's kind of like straight news. And then there's like a community element. So a lot of what we do centers around the community, right?
Yeah.
And
And it strikes to the heart.
yes,
Like-
helping people, highlighting issues in the community,
Mhm.
because I feel like that's what's more important than just a random news story.
Yeah.
They have their place, but really it's about trying to make a difference in the community where you're providing the service. So
But with all these busy schedules, and I know everybody's throwing news to you and all the updates, what keeps you grounded?
I think it's easy because I'm just sort of a grounded person anyway, you know, and although a lot of people have access to me on the phone, on Messenger and whatever, I try to limit the people that have like physical access to me, if that makes any sense,
Yes,
right?
Yes, I
yes,
remember
yes. So,
before that you said that you can count on one finger the number of your friends.
That's right.
Yes.
So when I have like my downtime and I want to socialize, you know, those are my good friends. I spend time with those. You know, I do community work and community activities and whatever. But I think you have to separate that from sort of your core group of individuals. And everybody in my core group is just down to earth. You know, nobody thinks too much of themselves.
It's like you know what it's like you try to draw the line between your real friends and from acquaintances only.
Yeah.
Because it's not actually the quantity that's really important, but it's the
Exactly.
quality of
Absolutely.
friends that you
Yes.
have. Yes.
Yeah. And sometimes the fewer the better.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Trust me, Miss Sandra, I've learned that the
friends
hard
category,
way.
Yes.
Yes,
It's
yes.
true. Yeah.
How do you navigate the power structure, like, you know, when you were like going, because of course, you know, everybody has this print ads, this
Right.
news, television, and
Yes.
but you were able to break through from social media,
Yes.
and it's like a boom, like it's like a big
And we
bang.
read on the radio.
Yes.
Yes, I
right.
listen to her every
Global
morning.
89.1. Yes.
Every
Well,
morning.
from the very beginning, when we started 5 years ago, I was like, where it's at is social media. Everything is happening on social media.
Yes, yes.
Good, bad,
Mhm.
the works, right? So we live our lives on social media.
Yes.
You know, people have a birthday party, they're going to
Yeah.
post it on social media.
Yes.
And that for me was the connection to reaching people
Mhm.
through WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram,
Yeah.
to really use the networks that people were already using to deliver the news to them.
Mhm.
And I think that really has been what has allowed us to stand out, how quickly we can deliver news and we can have conversations with people. Because right now, someone from halfway around the world can send me a video, they can send me a news tip, they can send me information, and it's just so easy to be able to share and have that open communication with people because of social media.
Yeah.
So we did really strategically focus on social media as the best means of delivering our content. Print media is dead. Nobody's reading print media.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know,
yes,
I don't even know
Yeah.
why they're wasting a tree.
Yeah.
Still trying to print
I'm with
stuff,
you in that.
you know, and I think people who were hanging on to that delivery mode for their news, I don't know why. You know, it just doesn't make any sense anymore. You just have to be a little bit more innovative in how you get out there and how you get ahead. And you know, the radio was a little bit different because we've been doing the podcast now for 2 years
Yes.
on Facebook. So like how you guys have your podcast here, Facebook and YouTube. And someone said to me, "Oh, you should be on radio," and I wasn't really convinced. I was like, you know, I've done radio before, but I said, have we passed radio? Like maybe that's kind of like print media. And as it turns out, for the Cayman population, I think other places in the world that might be true, but for Cayman, radio is still very powerful.
Oh yeah. I
People
think everybody still listens.
Especially Cayman.
Yeah,
Yes.
Cayman.
right here, people still love talk radio to be on a proper radio
Yeah.
station.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, you know, just May the 28th, we launched it on the radio station, and so far, it's been very well received.
When you you know, look at the name of Sandra Hill, it's next to CMR. But you know what? Behind that name,
Yes.
you can see the word fearless.
Oh, wow.
Where, honestly, I mean, that's my own point of view,
Yes.
but I think most people do. Where does that fearlessness came from? Do you have a role model, or have you, like, you know, you have a mentor that, where does the fearlessness of Sandra Hill came from?
I think a little bit of it is like craziness. So fearless because you're crazy, but I don't know. I think it's just like life experiences.
Mhm.
You know, I've been through a lot, I've seen a lot, I've done a lot.
Mhm.
And so I think at my age, especially when it comes to like the opinions of other people,
Mhm.
I'm at the age where I don't care. I'm just like,
Yeah.
it doesn't really matter, you know? And I think we all have to get to that point
Yes.
where, you know, if those people are paying your bills, then
Yes.
maybe you should care about what they think
Yeah.
about it. But if they're not contributing in any way like that to your life,
Mhm.
does it really matter?
Just say what you
Everybody
mean
has-
and
yeah.
mean what you say.
And everybody has an opinion, and I think that for the most part, we can have an exchange of ideas, an exchange of opinions, and do it in a way that, you know, it's fine. We don't have to always agree. We can agree to
Yes.
disagree, and people
Yes.
can still have that really
Yes,
good
yes.
dialogue. So,
Interaction.
yeah.
Yeah. And what I notice is when you watch your show and when you like just throw your opinion, and like what you said, maybe because as women, you know, when we age or when we reach a certain age, like especially if you reach 40s,
Yes.
you come to an age where you don't really care what other people
Yeah.
think. You just, you know, just say your opinion, throw it to the universe, and like,
Yeah. I hope everyone gets to that point,
mhm,
because I think there's still a lot of people, even as they get older, who are preoccupied
mhm,
with pleasing certain people in their
mhm,
lives.
mhm,
And you have to recognize that it's your life.
mhm.
And you have to be happy with what you do.
Yeah.
And trust me, when CMR got started, there were a lot of naysayers.
Mhm.
What is this? You know, this isn't going to be
Mhm.
successful.
Mhm.
People thought it was a joke. They didn't understand it. They're like, what is Mall Road? I don't even know what that term means.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
can you explain that?
What we know.
Now
Educate
people,
us.
yeah, now
Yes.
people know.
That's why they said, they remember at the time I said,
Yeah,
people don't even realize
yeah,
the Marl Road means something.
yes.
And
yes.
that's why it's
Absolutely.
named Marl Road because,
Yeah, it wasn't random at all.
yes.
And even with the picking of the name, I remember going to my WhatsApp group
Mm.
and like talking to people, like, give me
Mhm.
some name ideas. You know, what do you guys think?
Mhm.
And because Mall Road was going to be different, it was going to be a mix of like different things,
Yes,
right?
yes, yes.
I wanted something that reflected that.
Mhm.
So historically, the Mall Road in Cayman is like the old time,
Yeah.
unpaved road.
Yeah.
Yes.
And back in the day,
Mhm.
you know, like the slave girls in Bodden Town, they have at the Heritage House there now,
Mhm.
they actually have photos of these women. And, you know, they would walk from Bodden Town to Georgetown on the unpaved road. It was a very
Yes.
treacherous journey,
Mhm.
you know, mosquitoes biting them and whatever else.
I heard
And they
stories
would-
about mosquitoes.
Yeah, they would go to get the news from town and bring it back to Bodden Town. They would share that with the woman of the house, the mistress of the house.
Mhm.
And then she would then take it and pass it on to the other districts.
Mhm.
So like, you know, East End, North Side, whatever. And that was a mode of getting information. So, you know, what ships were coming in, what goods were going to be coming, if there was a
Mhm.
pending storm that they knew was coming. All of that official information was shared. But you know, along the Mall Road, as you take the journey, you pick up a little bit of sus
Mhm.
and gossip.
Ah,
And
Oh,
yeah,
Marites.
Yeah.
it's actually like
yeah,
a total package of the
everything.
news. Because when you
Exactly.
open a newspaper, you also have the headline,
Mm.
you have the entertainment,
Yeah.
you have the
Exactly.
comics,
Yeah.
you have the
My
obituaries.
favorite,
you have
that's my
everything.
favorite part of the newspaper.
The obituary?
Yeah. If I don't see my name there, it's I'm reading it.
That's
I
a
don't
good
see my
day.
name there.
My Lord. But you know what? Like what you said earlier, you have a lot of naysayers.
Yes.
But because of these naysayers, it made Cayman Marl famous.
I know. Yes, I mean, it was definitely a way to motivate me to just stay the course, and I
Do better.
Yeah, and I wasn't really focused on the negativity or the chatter, you know. And I think this is like a life lesson. Like sometimes, you know, you have a goal
Yeah.
and there's something that you want to do, and there's going to be a lot of distractors. There's going to be a lot of just noise, is what it's called, around you,
Yes.
and you just have to have laser focus and remain on the course.
Yeah. It's actually the like the same as the saying that goes like, let them throw all the bricks to you
Yeah,
and use the bricks to build your empire, to build a wall. But you didn't use it as a wall to block them. You use it as an empire, like a castle, and you use that as a stepping stones towards where CMR is right now.
And it's all about inclusion, because sometimes people say to me, oh, you know, this person doesn't like you and they've said bad things, but then when something happens, you're the first person. They're like, oh, I have to go to Mall Road for help. And sometimes my friends would be like, are you sure you want to help this person? I said, you know what? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what they thought. If they need help and they need it now and they come to me, I will help them.
That's also what happened to Bayanihan. Like, we have naysayers too, but when they need help, they also come to us. And, you know, I mean, it's humanitarian, you know, you cannot still say and close your eyes to somebody who's in need.
Exactly.
And I think even
have
with the
tendency-
fearlessness,
I have the tendency
Miss Sandra has a heart.
Dion,
Yeah.
he would say, let us help you help her despite everything, you know, the
Yeah.
spiciness comes out.
And
That's why it's sugar and spice.
Spice.
I'm more sweeter. I tame her.
She's spicy.
Yes. Miss Sandra, with all this thing that, you know, that you are already on this level in your life, what will you tell to the younger generations? Like, you know, like, especially the women.
Yeah.
You know, how, if you are asked to give a short talk or, you know, an inspiration to the young Caymanians especially, what will you impart to them?
I would say a lot of the things that I grew up hearing that my aunt would say to me, she raised me, hard work never killed anyone, you know? But you also have to know how to work smart. Because sometimes it's not always about hard work, it's about working smarter and implementing certain systems in place to, you know, really elevate you to the next level. I would say focus on your dreams, and throughout your life, your dreams can change. What you want in your 20s and your 30s and your 40s and so on can change, and it can be something different. And just go for, you know, the things that you want to accomplish. And I think once you're doing something good and positive, you will find that along your life journey, there are going to be people there who are almost like positioned as part of the universe coming together to support you. And they're going to support you in your journey along the way, whether it's like an encouraging word or, you know, here's a few dollars for your project or whatever, they become a customer. There's just so many ways that you will find that support, but just try to stay as positive as you can, and you can do it.
Yes, I believe in positivity, really, you know, puts you on different, you know, levels in life, and with just positivity, and, you know, you just have to believe in yourself.
Definitely.
And when you have, like, in the morning, you know, how do you prepare yourself? Like, I know you have a morning radio. While I'm driving, I'm listening to Sandra Hill. But what is your, like, the morning routine before you go out to the world?
Or like
What preparation? Do you do yoga, or do you do
I wish.
meditation?
I think I need to start. I need to start doing yoga in the mornings. But no, my mornings are normally a little bit hectic in the sense that I get to work straight away almost. Only because I'm very, very bad at going to sleep and getting a proper night's sleep. It's one of my goals for 2022 is to get more sleep. But because I go to bed so late, and then I'm not the best sleeper, so I wake up multiple times. Like, by the time my alarm goes off at 6 o'clock in the morning, I snooze it once to 6:09.
That's me.
And then
Welcome to the club.
I'm like, okay, I'm so tired, but I gotta get up. So I get up, and, you know, I've got a 5-year-old, she's almost 6. So I need to make sure that she's getting sorted out and ready for school. I grab water. Some mornings I get a cup of tea, but most mornings I just drink water throughout the show. And then I hit the shower, you know, put on my outfit for the show, try to get in focus mode. So the night before I go to bed, I try to prepare in my head, more or less know what topics I'm going to talk about. So
in relation to, you spoke about your daughter. So can we ask, like, how do you spunk?
How is Miss Sandra as a mom?
How does the discipline?
Yeah, I think, you know, before I had my daughter, I was like, I'm going to be very strict. I'm going to be a disciplinarian. But I think at heart, I'm actually a softie with children.
Most spicy,
But
I like
not,
that.
Miss Sandra,
I'm not. But I don't believe in physical spanking. I think there's a
Okay.
lot of other creative ways to discipline children. But yeah, if I have to, no, if I believe in structure.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, it's bedtime, it's this, whatever. So I try to keep her life very, very structured. And, you know, I don't like children who don't have any manners or unruly,
Yeah,
but
Yes.
yeah,
I think
Yes,
as parents from very young, we have to teach them.
Mhm.
Very, very young.
Yes.
Just consistently teach them what
Mhm.
how we want them to be and how, you know, what's appropriate way to act and so on.
Yes.
So I think I'm a loving mom. Like I love hugs and
Yes.
kisses and
Yeah.
you know, I think that as parents,
Mhm.
we need to focus more on rewarding our children and showing them affection
Mhm.
than sometimes being just the disciplinarians.
Oh,
The
yes,
general.
yes.
Mm.
Yeah.
Miss Sandra, if looking back, like let's say
Yes.
10 years,
Mhm.
have you envisioned this thing that you're doing right now?
No, not 10 years ago. And it's so weird because I'm going to tell you, someone who saw it before I did was Charles Whitaker.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
Charles the Killer.
yeah.
For years, because on my own page, my personal page, I always used to like post news stories, engage in community discussions. And he always, for many, many years, said to me, "Oh, Sandy, you know, you should start your own news agency." And he'd say, "You could be better than Cayman News Service." I was like, "No, like, I don't think that's for me." And he kept saying it over and over and over again for years. And so when I finally did it, he said, "What did I tell you?"
Mm.
You know, so I think he saw something a lot sooner than I saw it.
Mm.
Because, you know, I would kind of dabble in it. And it's so funny how life can like bring you full circle. Because when I was in university, my first job, I guess, as an adult was actually as a writer at the school newspaper
I read that. Yeah.
at USF. Yeah.
Mhm.
So I, you know, was going to school full time and working part time writing stories.
Mhm.
And I got to interview people and it was interesting, but I never really saw myself like doing that like a job or profession, you know, it's
In
kind of like,
broadcasting or
So-
in
No,
So
media.
in college, you're already doing it.
yeah.
Oh,
Mm.
and that's
And
in
so,
Miami.
you know, and I'm in Tampa.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So, you know, over the years, I've hosted a couple of different, like I've had my own talk show before,
Mhm.
you know, I've done stuff on like traditional TV,
Yeah.
but nothing that was like, okay, this is going to be like a full-time job and I'm just a broadcaster or news or whatever.
Yeah.
So in many ways, I feel like life prepares you. I always have this saying that you're right where you're supposed to be.
At the right time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And everything you go through in life kind of prepares you for where you're supposed to be.
I think I believe
Yes,
that.
And
I
so-
believe in
I
that.
believe that.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
I believe in that too.
Yep. So here I am, and I look at my, you know, life experiences and all the different things that I've done, and I think everything has contributed to me being able to have the perspective now that I have, and to be able to even help people, including all of your failures. Like your failures
Yes.
Yes.
are beneficial to you. You know, they're meant to help you to become stronger, to become more knowledgeable, and to just be in a better position
Yeah.
to know the next time around how you can navigate certain things in life.
Yeah.
Because what you are now is the sum total of all
Exactly.
those things. The as you said, the
Exactly.
failure, the success, and
Yeah, because
everything,
one of my
and all
questions,
the people that had contributed to
Yes.
that personality
Yes,
that you
exactly.
have now.
yeah, because like I was about to ask you also, like, was it your passion? Because but writing is different from, you know, what you're doing right now.
Yeah.
But it's like, you know, being a writer, I write because I also write,
Yes.
but not really like, you know, like I have this thing in Facebook that I have a just saying thing, like
Yeah.
whatever thoughts, like they say that, you know, when I'm in a trance, I write something,
Yeah.
then, you know, any expressions, like anything that I can think of,
Yeah.
and then I write it, and then I posted it.
Yeah.
Like, but, like, it I think it was that being a writer is a preparation for you to be in this
Yeah.
field right now, because although
Yeah.
I don't know if you make your script, which I don't think so.
No.
Everything is
Not
just
for
spontaneous.
yes.
Yes.
Yeah, not for the show or anything like
Mhm,
that.
mhm.
And my first degree at USF is actually a writing degree.
Mhm.
So my very first degree was in professional technical writing.
Mm.
But at the time, I was doing that degree to prepare myself for law school because my goal was to become this big shot lawyer. I was going to be a prosecutor, putting all the bad guys in and all that kind of stuff. Like that was my childhood goal. Like that's where,
Yeah.
And as I started down that journey, I did go to law school and I have my law degree and whatever. But moving back to Cayman, I shifted. I was like, I started working for a law firm. I was in the corporate Cayman, and there's a lot of money in corporate Cayman. And I walked away from it. I'm like, I don't know. Because with that money, you were selling up your soul.
Yeah.
In so many different ways.
And that's not your cup of tea.
No. And I was like, no, I can't bow down to people just because they're rich. I'm like, this is not going to work for me. And so I ended up walking away from that life. And a lot of people like, you're crazy. Like I actually had other lawyers at the time saying, what are you doing? Why are you walking away? We made sacrifices to make sure Caymanians like yourself could come after us and do all of these things. Why are you leaving? And I was like, I couldn't really explain it. And the only thing I said, I remember the person who asked me that, the only thing I said to her at the time was, I said, listen, before I become dependent on this lifestyle, because you know what happens, right? You're making $10,000 a month, $25,000 a month, whatever. You have the kids in private school, you have the big house, the big car, you're stuck.
Lifestyle.
Yeah, you're stuck because you've got all these financial obligations. And you feel like you can't ever walk away from that. So I said, and it was a very pivotal time for me. My father was, he was terminally ill. He was passing away. And I said to myself, right now, this is not where I need to be. And so I can walk away. I can break away from this because, I don't have all of those ties yet. So before that happens and it becomes much more difficult for me to walk away, let me walk away now for my own sanity, for my community, because I felt like I was always going to be stifled working in, the Maples and Calders of the world.
Yes.
That was always going to be stifling. And so sometimes you just have to walk away. You walk against the grain because everybody thinks you're crazy. And they're like, you're walking away from opportunities, from money, from this and that. You do it anyway. And
I think you being different
yeah,
is the thing that makes people attracted to CMR, and because it's different.
yeah,
It's not like the usual,
yeah.
like
Some people don't get it, but I think a lot of people now kind of
I think
understand.
you also brought awareness.
Yeah.
It's the awareness that you brought into the people, and also it's like you balance the news, you balance the reality, you balance the what's really going on.
Yeah.
The
It's
actual,
a
because you
lot of
also
different
put in
elements.
all the videos there,
Yeah.
and that's what really happened. And it's up to the people, and then here comes all the different comments, and
my
everybody's
Yeah,
like,
because all those
Yes.
instant news in the morning, it's the relevance at
Yeah.
the moment.
yes.
So everybody is aware and wants to know more
Right.
as it happens.
Yeah.
Or had it
Yeah.
happened yesterday, we want to know more.
Right.
The why and the wherefores and the what and the how and the when.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and even when we do our stories, like sometimes it's easy just to do what I call a cookie cutter story. Like, okay, this happened, but like you said, people want to know the story behind the story.
Yes.
Like what's really going on here, because in a lot of instances, there's always more to the story than meets the eye.
And I think what's the difference between CMR and other news outlets is, with the news that is being thrown there, there's no reaction from the public. But with CMR, it's not only you contributing, but it's the whole community that's
Yes.
contributing their ideas, their reactions, other informations are put in there that are thrown in there, and they're giving facts, they're giving opinions and everything.
Yeah.
So it becomes one topic or one issue becomes, it involves everybody.
Yes, it's true.
And you kind of like awaken the people in the community to be involved, to be aware and to be to take care,
Yeah.
And it's the awareness that you brought into the community that they forgot already the word they forgot already the word Marl Road, because it actually, like me and Ate Sunny said, like it's actually the news also. It's
for sure.
what's actually happening. And sometimes, with the print and the radio, it takes time before you hear the news.
Yeah.
But in your face, especially the Facebook page, as it happened, the minute it happened,
Yeah.
CMR already happened.
Yeah. I just
Yeah.
asked a question. I don't know. I forgot who I addressed it to because I said, how could she be there at the exact moment? The exact time when it happened?
No.
I've had a lot of people say this to me.
Yes.
People walk up to me in the grocery store, like younger kids, and they're like, "Were you at that accident?"
Yes.
Like they think I'm everywhere at once. And I said, no. One of the fantastic
volunteers.
things about CMR is people very, very
Yes.
early on understood
Mhm.
that it is community news.
Yes.
It is
Yes.
for the people and by the
By the
people.
people. Yeah.
So the vast majority of stuff that's happening on the road, it's a fire, it's a this, whatever. You know, like today I got news this guy got arrested for gun possession and his dad's a former police inspector. You know, already the story's starting to form. It's people sending me the information.
Yes.
You know, one source sends it, then another source adds to it. And then of course you have to be careful sometimes to make sure you try to verify and you know, but it really is community-based news. And I think that element of what we do is truly what sets us aside from everybody else.
So the spirit of the wild road is still there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Starting
Yes.
from Georgetown and then
Yes.
Crimson to
Yes.
Bolitan, like you said.
With all the news and the bits along the
Yeah.
way.
Along the way,
Yeah.
that
Yes,
it's like
yes.
a magnet
Yeah.
that
Yes.
Yeah. And
makes
people
it
take
cohesive.
and people take ownership as well. You know, like if they want to express themselves, they want to share something, they come. Remember when we first started Jackass of the Day? This was very, very controversial. Everybody's like,
I'm very, very careful when I park.
You know, yeah, people now are like, oh,
Yeah.
no, I'm like,
But it was very controversial. How can you call somebody a jackass? Oh, that's so insulting, blah, blah, blah. And if I wasn't a person who was firm in my positions and convictions, I would have wavered. Oh, yeah, I'm hurting your feelings. We can't call you a jackass. Well, if you're a jackass, you're a jackass, right? So I said, no, I'm not going to change it.
If he doesn't want to be called jackass, he can be a donkey ass.
You know, in the Cayman Islands, we would call you like a donkey. Or we would say, what's the other term for jackass? But donkey is a very familiar word, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But the reason why I couldn't use donkey is there's another media house that does a donkey thing. So I was like, I don't want to encroach on their, copyright, whatever. So we just said jackass,
okay,
yeah? And everybody knows what a jackass is. It's the same thing as a donkey.
Yeah.
So, at first everybody was like, oh, no, this is, everybody was like over politically correct and oversensitive. And now you'd be surprised at people that send me the jackasses of the day. Doctors, lawyers,
yes, everyone.
business owners, everybody. And every day they're like, I'm nominating this person for jackass of the day. People who are parking in handicapped spots when they're not handicapped.
Yes.
Overload trucks.
Yeah, everything. They can't park. People who are like doing all sorts of stuff, especially if it's in public, people will take the photo, take the video and send it and say, here's my nomination.
But it also eliminates the some people who are abusive, some people who are taking advantage, some people who doesn't have any respect, I think like the jackass for the day, it makes everybody conscious. You're careful, like, oops, I might be parking on
And on the other side of the jackass, can we have an angel of the day?
Wow.
Yes, spicy over here. We actually used to do a segment on Fridays. I forget the title of it now, but it was something along the lines where we would highlight people who were doing good and positive things.
Yeah, I remember
and
that.
We haven't really given it a name, but I like that.
Angel of the day. Angel of the
And
week.
you know what is so interesting is the positive stories get way more traction than the negative stories.
Yeah.
People always think, oh yeah, people love the negativity, and that's part of the world we live in.
I agree.
But the positive stories by far always get. You know the video with the little kid with the where he was.
Oh, I love that.
Yes.
I love him.
You posted that, right?
Love
Right now, it's
him.
like 16 million
It
views, I
has
think.
over, the last time I checked, it had like over 3.5 million views.
Yes.
And
And that started from Cayman.
cute. He is so
He
cute.
really, I'm trying
And
to see
like
if I can.
you're looking at a future, the future Cayman fisher guy, and he knows what he's doing. while he's trying to get the fish and he tries to, make the fish tired before he took him out from the water.
Yes,
He knows what
it was
he's
the
doing.
cutest little thing, and I mean that is indicative of like, what people enjoy, what people like to see a kid just having fun being a kid.
And I just thought that, as you said, even if the negativity attracts attention, but the good things still attracts more, because why people's spirit gravitates towards hope.
Yes.
That there is still hope for mankind, that there is still good in mankind,
Mhm.
despite what is
Absolutely.
very, very
Yes.
dark age
Yes,
that we
exactly.
are in now.
Yeah, like every time I'm on Instagram and going through my newsfeed, the thing that I stop and enjoy the most is all the little puppy videos and the things with babies or
The
people,
recliners.
or people dancing and having fun. Like those are the things I pause on and I go, oh, that's so cute.
Yeah.
And then my daughter runs over, what are you watching? And I can show her, So yeah, I mean, I read all the news, but those are things that really warms your heart
Yeah.
and makes you think that, of course, humanity is still by and large positive,
Yeah.
and there's so many good people out there. It's just a matter of trying to make the connections with people, in our communities,
Mhm.
and try to share a common goal and objective with people who you find are on a similar journey to you, trying to help people in the community and that sort of thing.
Do you have any advice, Miss Sandra, if like a younger Caymanian who wants to follow your footsteps? What will you tell her?
I
Or
would
him.
say make your own path. Yeah, you don't have to follow me. I've done something a little bit different, but I think everyone can create their own footsteps in the sand. You don't have to, there could be no footsteps there. You don't have to worry about that.
Yes,
You can create your own.
yes.
You can beat to your own drum.
Mhm.
Even if your drum sounds different to other people, they're like, well, that's out of sync or that doesn't really make any sense. It's your beat.
Yeah, because I think you really have to be different,
Yeah.
right? Because who would ever even think, like Cayman Marl would be this big?
Yeah.
It's like what you've said. It's the
Yeah,
path is not even there.
Yeah, during the first few years, remember?
Yeah.
Not everyone
Oh, yeah.
is as daring, as
Yes.
exploring, because there is safety in sameness.
Yes.
Right?
That's true.
No, you can ask her about the first year of Cayman Rock.
I know.
Oh.
Even the Filipino community. Yes. Sometimes you guys were so upset with me. Like, I don't know, something like that. And I'm like, what? I'm like, no.
No, what?
But
Why is he picking on us?
and I think after a while everybody saw that I was picking on everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It didn't matter.
Yes.
Filipino, Jamaican, Caymanians,
Everybody.
everybody, man, woman, it didn't really matter. And I think once people recognize that, like, okay, and also that it wasn't just about, appearing to pick on people, but it was about helping people.
Mhm.
So many times I've had people in the Filipino community come to me. This person took my money. They promised me a work
Mhm.
permit.
Yes,
they
yes,
didn't get
yes,
it for
yes.
me.
Yes,
Or they're
yes,
mistreating me.
Mhm.
Employers not paying
I
salary,
love how-
benefits.
I also love how you fought for these people. Like you
Yeah.
go out really of your way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You even try to dig
Yes.
more.
Yes, I hate to see injustices. I have to tell you,
Mhm.
many years ago, when you're a kid, you always look up like, what does my name mean? Like you look it up.
Yeah.
And Sandra comes from the name derivative Alexander.
Oh.
Okay.
And
Oh.
Alexander means lover of mankind or helper of mankind.
Mhm.
So I've always known this for a very long time about my name from I was a kid. And I've always felt like no matter what I do, my overarching responsibility in life has to be to help people.
Mhm.
So one time, I was dabbling in politics. I thought maybe I'll be a politician.
Mhm.
But if I couldn't help people in whatever it was that I was doing for me, it's a failure. No matter
Yes.
how much money or anything else you're making, that's not the point. You have to be able to help people. So I have a very big heart when it comes to helping people. And sometimes I kind of overextend myself. But, I really don't like to see injustices done to people. Like it makes me really upset, and I take it personal. Even if I don't know the person, if they come to me with a story and they say, this is what's happening to me, and they show me the evidence and whatever,
Actually,
I'm gonna help them.
You help people in different ways, like injustice or like inhuman treatment. You also help people in exposing, those that are what they're doing or illegal things that they're
Yes.
doing. And other ways that Miss Sandra helped, and this is one thing that we in Cayman Bayanihan,
Mhm.
we always, you have a soft spot in the Bayanihan community
Yes, thank you.
because the first Christmas extravaganza
Oh, yes.
that you video, some of the Filipinos in the island never knew that we existed.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it was Sandra Hill who
Wow.
posted it
It
and
got a lot
made
of
a lot of
views.
noise in her.
Yes.
How many views?
I
was
think
that?
on the first day was like 15,000.
Yes.
Yes.
Just one day.
It had a lot of people,
And-
and even people overseas. I saw
and
people
it
overseas
helped us a
watching.
lot. And I mean,
Yeah.
the Exicom agreed, like, we didn't even expect that. We are trying our best to let every Filipinos know that, hey guys, we exist, it's
Yeah.
time for you to get up there and be a volunteer and help. But it takes a Sandra Hill.
Thank you.
I saw you, I was in the stage and you were videoing, and
Yes.
when I look at it in the evening, I said, wow. And you cannot see who watch it. Pretty sure like
Yeah.
percentage of those that watch it because it's a Filipino
Yeah.
event are Filipinos who
Yeah.
never knew that we existed.
Yeah.
And it was like you start partly help us make the ball
Yes.
roll and
Yeah.
Well, it was such an amazing event, and this speaks to how, as well,
Mhm.
Cayman no longer has a TV station, traditional
Yeah.
TV station.
Yeah.
So all of us are doing things like this. We're
Yes,
having talk
yes,
shows, we're
yes.
streaming live.
Mhm.
And I think it's so important to try to still connect with the community. And as you can see during COVID, that was the only way that we had
Oh
to
yeah,
connect to
yes,
people,
yes,
right?
yes.
So it's extremely important that we utilize technology to still reach as many people as possible.
Yeah.
And people love to sit down and watch TV or watch news content, especially videos.
Mhm.
So when I came to your event, on my way, I was thinking, okay, I'm going to go to this event. I wasn't quite sure what it was all about and what to expect, but I said, whatever it is, I'm sure it's going to be good. It's going to be interesting, and other people will want to see this.
Mhm.
So
We
I
were
couldn't,
nervous,
I couldn't just sit there. Oh yeah.
We were nervous because we said, I hope we can make her appreciate what we're doing.
Yeah.
Remember, we were saying like, what if
Yeah.
Sandra will
You
say
guys
like,
did an
oh, this is
amazing
boring, or
job.
this is like,
My reaction was like, guys, Miss Sandra is down there.
and I
What
said
you
like,
say?
Oh, I remember you on stage giving away all those prizes, being the MC, one of the
Yes,
MCs
Yeah.
for the
everyone
evening.
was.
Yes.
and I
yes.
said to myself like, I hope like because when you were videoing at the back of my mind while I'm emceeing, I said, I hope we're going to please Miss Sandra and the people that are watching her because
Yes.
I mean that's Sandra Hill and the exposure is already like I hope the people will say, Sandra, what are you showing? Like stop the crappy video that
No,
we
it was
we
such
were
a
so touched.
good
And that was the
performance.
extravaganza. Were you also there during the festival?
Yes.
Yes.
So we
Of
have this
course.
one this year. Is another
Yes.
one.
Oh, you have the
Another
date
big
set
one.
for July. Yeah.
For July.
No, I mean, listen, the events that you guys put on, I want to congratulate you because I know it's a lot of work that you put into these things.
Yes.
Yes.
And everything from the costumes to the food to just getting the community to come out and participate is just so incredible and so important. And I always tell people, as Caymanians, I think sometimes we sit back and we see other communities here who are doing things or like, oh, well, they're doing this, they're doing that, they're taking over. I said, no, they're enjoying their life. They're bringing their communities together and we can learn so much from other people.
Yes.
It's just an amazing exhibition and the Filipino community is also so diverse.
Yes. we are.
From the different regions and everything. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful. And I
Yeah.
love attending,
Yeah.
all of your events, your festivals, everything.
But think of this, we are so diverse because there are 7,799 islands during
It's just
low tide.
amazing.
And we are a
Some of
melting.
them gets lost under.
We are also a melting pot.
Yeah.
It's like
An
some of us looks
international
like Chinese, some of us
Yeah.
looks like Indian, some of
Yeah.
us looks like
Most
partly
Spanish.
American and Spanish. Some of us even looks like Mexican because of the galleon trade before,
Yeah.
and but what really, the connection of Bayanihan and the Filipino community with CMR is,
Yeah.
CMR also made us involved in the community, in what's going on. Like, I know some Filipinos are also contributing to
Yeah.
Cayman Mar, and it also like knocks our head, like
Yes.
when you post something like, oh,
Yeah. And by about the second year of Cayman Mar Road, I kept saying to people, I would love to have someone who could write segments. Maybe it's not every day that there's news, but I want a writer for the Filipino community. So even it hasn't happened yet. So maybe. But I kept saying like I need someone to write for like the different communities.
Oh.
Yes, Dion over there.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I think that your voices in your community here need that, and
Yes.
CMR is very
I think
much
so,
about
yeah.
being inclusive,
Yes.
right?
I
So we
think
want
so.
to include everyone
Yeah.
in the news.
And I think
Whatever's happening in your community,
yeah.
there's space.
And
for
I
you.
think because Cayman Islands is also a melting pot, and like if the Filipinos will step up, I'm pretty sure the Honduranian, the Cuban,
Yeah.
the Jamaicans will also, and this will become a unified community.
Yeah.
And I think if Cayman Mar is going to like
Yep.
spearhead it, and then like
Absolutely.
maybe every week you have like this week is going to be an Indian, like you have this,
And that's why we do regional news, and
Mhm.
I've seen now some of the other newspapers are starting to pick up on regional news,
Mhm.
but they do like mostly Cayman news and then world news. Very
Mhm.
little of what happens in the region.
Mhm.
And for me, Cayman we're a Caribbean island, right? So we have Jamaica, Honduras,
Mhm.
Trinidad, all these other islands that we're surrounded by.
Mhm.
It's important that we maintain that regional connection
yes,
because we are part of that region.
Mhm.
So we are Caribbean people.
yes.
And so, I really enjoy, we have a writer who her focus really is regional news.
Mhm.
And she pulls a lot of stories. And sometimes I hear people saying, well, you need to change it from Cayman Mall Road. And I say, listen, nowhere in the world
Mhm.
are you in complete isolation from anywhere else.
Yes,
We're no longer the island of time for
Yes,
us.
yeah.
Let's be
It's-
honest here,
it's
right?
globalization now, and
Yeah.
I
And,
think we're
we
all
have to
interconnected.
care.
Yes.
Exactly.
You're the island that everybody knows now.
Yeah. And we have to care. We also have to care about what's happening elsewhere in the world.
Yes.
Because these are like collective human
Mhm,
stories.
mhm, mhm.
And sometimes what happens elsewhere is going to have a very direct impact on what's going on with
Yes,
us.
yes. And it
Now we
also
see
brings
it.
awareness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We see it with the war in Ukraine, food chain supply issues happening. Now we're recognizing that, wow, we need to diversify
Even
How
like
about the monkeypox?
our food. Oh my gosh.
I know,
That's
but even
serious,
like
yeah.
the shooting in Texas, it makes us.
Yeah.
It's not the shooting itself, but it's the mental health awareness that
Yeah.
I think everybody's going through
There's
something.
so many elements.
And
Absolutely.
I think it's about time that we have to look into this as well.
Absolutely.
And I know a lot of people needs help also, and I think one of the reason I even thought of this last night.
Mhm.
One of the reason why, even if people are like, especially during the lockdown,
Mhm.
you don't really feel like you're in lockdown, because like if you have something on your page,
Yes, you're still getting the news.
you're still involved. You're still like everybody's
Yeah.
commenting, and everybody's so involved. And when I was thinking about it last night, like it makes you feel like you're still within a community. You're not isolated, because you know what's going on. You can react. You can give your views, and
Yes.
some people don't like your views. They're also reacting and saying, "No, you're not supposed to be saying that." Like
Yeah.
it's
true.
a-
And that is the reason why during the pandemic, because of the situation we were all collectively in,
Mhm.
we went from, because remember the cohort truth used to be Tuesdays and Thursday evenings.
Yeah.
In March of 2020, because of the lockdown, everybody was like just so confused, so stressed out. I said, you know what? We need each other now
Mhm.
more than ever.
Mhm.
And so I started doing the daily show Monday to Friday. Every single morning I would get up.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And it was so amazing to see the people that, okay, I'm lying in bed, but I'm watching you, Sandy. They were all there and they were
I
commenting.
remember you were walking with your daughter and you're on your live, and I said, like,
Yes.
at least you have something to watch, and like,
Yeah.
but I asked 10 years before.
Yes.
I'm going to ask you now, 5 years from now, how do you envision CMR?
Yes. Well, I hope that we'll be stronger than we are now.
Mhm.
We'll continue to be a force to be reckoned with within the community,
Mhm.
and that we can help more people. You know?
And I know that you're not like every single time I watch, oh, you have a live news now. Like, do you have, it's like,
Yeah,
it's not just the Cayman Marl that
it's
that
always
it's-
adding something. more to it.
yes.
You know, like
Yes.
we're doing interviews now with members of the elder community, the older Caymanians.
Yes.
And initially we were going to call it Cayman Icons, but we've kind of changed the name
Mhm.
a little bit. But it's them telling their stories, or individual stories,
Mhm.
so that we can get a view of what our collective history is.
Yes.
Yes,
You
and
know?
I think that's a very nice, like, it's like this festival that we're doing,
Yeah.
Some, especially the generations right now, the millennials, they're exposed to all this technology.
Yeah.
They forgot about their heritage,
Yeah.
the cultural, the cultural history of the island. And it's
Yeah.
this senior people who will refresh their minds, who will,
Absolutely.
Or like downloading oral tradition.
Yes.
Yes.
Tradition orally.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And it's important to hear those stories of what life used to be like
Yes.
in Cayman, and
Yeah.
to also appreciate that generation that really laid the foundation
Mhm.
for the lifestyle that we enjoy now,
Yeah.
and a lot of the
But I
successes
think,
that we
I don't know
have.
if it happens to you or in Cayman, but when we were younger, on a Sunday, when the family gets together and you listen to your grandmother, to your grandfather telling stories, it's like that, right?
Yeah.
It amazes you going back and you try to imagine the life that they used to have before.
Yes.
And I think if you continue to do that, you're going to bridge the gap between the millennial and the older generation. That the millennial will be able to appreciate where they came from
Yes.
and what their ancestors are doing before, and the sacrifices that they
Yeah.
Because
did,
for
the
sure,
lifestyle that they
the
have.
younger generation now had not experienced
Mhm.
like what happened before the cow or the
Yeah.
calf dies because of mosquito bite the
Yeah.
moment it
Yeah.
gets born.
And
No,
you know,
I mean, for sure. Like, a lot of our young people think, oh, life is so hard, whatever, but they don't have an appreciation of hard life.
Yes,
When
yes.
you listen to some of, the people that have had an opportunity and a pleasure to interview already, it's just like, wow, how did you make it? And it was a time when there were so many things, like, people with handicaps were just
Mhm.
pretty much put to the side,
Yes,
and they
yes,
were
yes.
forgotten about in a corner if they were lucky. Some were abused, whatever. And now we live in communities where we're trying to appreciate people for all of their differences.
Yes,
We're
yes.
trying to be,
Mhm.
we're all trying to educate ourselves about our differences, cultural differences, everything else.
Mhm.
Before, the way that people were exposed to the world was they had to do a certain job, like go out to sea. And that was only open to the men
Mhm.
in the communities. Now we live in a world where technology is available to us. There's a guy that I watch, he has a YouTube channel, and he's Japanese, and he does a lot of things like, life of a Japanese mechanic who
Yeah.
works like for certain,
Yeah.
you know who he
Yeah,
is?
yeah,
He's
yeah.
cool. And I mean, I can sit in the comfort of my home in front of my TV
Mhm.
and experience and learn about other people's cultures,
Yes.
their way of life, their food, everything, their
Gone are the
traditions.
days, Sandra, that we have to grab the thick encyclopedia
Yes.
and you
Yeah,
have to read like,
Exactly. And
where
by the
is
time
Japan?
Yeah.
Where is China?
and
you
so
know?
much of that information was outdated, and
Yes.
now we have, because again of the technology that's available to us,
Mhm.
you can look at an app person who can then share their story with you.
Yes, yes.
They don't have to have lots of money to have a talk show or to start up a platform or whatever. So, I think all of that is something that we at Cayman Mall Road try to utilize to really just demonstrate to people that we are part of the community. And, I love my community, and I want it to flourish and just be the best that we can all be.
Yes, and like the Cayman Bayanihan is always like grateful for you from time to time, you gave us the avenue, like when Typhoon Rai happened in the Philippines,
Mhm.
you give us the opportunity to, reach out to everyone,
Yes.
if whoever is willing and to share, whatever,
We were able to help a lot of people.
Yeah.
not
wonderful.
realizing,
Yeah,
not realizing that that's what we're trying to say, that not realizing that there's a lot of avenue that we're
Yes.
able to help people,
Yeah.
and
Thank
touch
you.
lives.
It was through the
Yeah,
Cayman
that's so
Marlon,
wonderful.
when you called for help for Nicaragua, Honduras,
Yes.
because of the fire, the flood, and the typhoon and
Right.
everything. So we as a community also had
Yes.
given
To Nicaragua,
yeah,
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
wonderful.
yes.
yeah.
Because that
Yeah.
during that, when we had an announcement in your
Mhm.
show, a lot of people also gave
Mhm.
clothes, but we cannot send clothes to the Philippines
Mhm.
because that will take 6 months.
Right.
And right after that, the thing that happened in Nicaragua and Honduras.
Yeah.
So all those clothes that we got, we send them to the people of the group in, right? They're the ones from Nicaragua that collects the
yes.
clothes.
Uh-huh.
So they were so happy because it's ready and it's already boxed and
Yeah.
we already sorted it.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's not like
beautiful.
the help only goes to the Filipino community, but it's like, it's the community that's helping each other.
Yeah.
And that's what, I
Very
think
good.
from as Cayman Marl matures, people also, your fathers and the people and the community will also mature, thinking that, Cayman Marl is not just the Marl Road.
Yes.
Cayman Marl is,
Yeah.
it's
Leveled up.
yeah. Not only that, it provides.
We're on the paved road now.
It provides public service.
Courtesy of
We're on the super highway, nice and smooth.
So it's
The
like,
National Roads Authority smooth it out for us.
well, the way I see it, CMR will become like a newspaper in social media.
Yes. Yes. Well,
Yes.
thank you very, very much. I appreciate that.
Oh my God.
Jing, you use up all the time now. It's already 8:45. We started at 7:30.
Ate Sani, I told you, if we have guests like this, Dion knows
This is
that.
the first time I'm like,
Really?
Yeah, you can ask them.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
First time.
He-
enjoying it really.
And
Yes.
Dion sometimes ask me, like, Michelle, what is the script? What are the questions? I said, you know what? I only have a couple of questions. If the guest, I know if the guest is like really expressive,
No, she said usually.
That's
Tonight's
why I said, you do all the time. I'll just smile.
but I know when the guest is very easy to talk to.
Yes.
I don't need script. And I said, Miss Sandra Hill, you don't need script for Miss Sandra Hill. You
Yes.
just ask the right question and she will give
Yeah.
you the answer. And
We
I'm
just-
so
we-
happy.
We always say, be careful. I don't want to be in Cayman Road.
Well, this is
Yeah,
a positive
it's
way of
so-
being in the road.
Absolutely. And it's so interesting because even when I have guests on my show,
Mhm.
sometimes people like top guests are like, oh, can you send me the questions? And I always say to them, can you believe that I don't have any questions?
Yes.
I believe in an organic interview.
Yes, I do. Because you know
Yeah.
what? That's what I always tell Dion. If you have a scripted question, you don't get the essence of the
Yeah.
person. You
Yes.
you
Kind of
don't
a
get
rigid
yes.
interview.
It's not
Yes.
he cannot or he or she cannot express
Yeah.
herself well. But if you just ask the right question,
It just went the flow.
it goes with the
Yeah.
flow. Yes.
Absolutely.
And this is one of my favorite interviews. I can sleep good tonight. Like last night, I was
Oh,
looking at the
thank
screen and I
you.
said, what am I going to ask to Miss Sandra?
Thank you so much. When you said a meeting, I was thinking a different kind of meeting. I didn't realize it was gonna be like a live event. So what I'm gonna do tomorrow morning, you send me this video
Yes, ma'am.
and I'm gonna share it on the morning show.
Yes.
Wow!
So
And you
all
know
of you
what,
can tune
Miss
in.
Sandra, I always said, I watch Miss Sandra, especially during lockdown, but in the morning, like,
Yes.
I listen to her. What will I ask Miss Sandra? And then I realized, I said, everybody knows already who's Miss Sandra Hill of
Mhm.
Cayman Mar. I want to see the woke, the empowered woman, the
Mhm.
fearless woman, the mother,
Mhm.
and the person that is concerned of her community.
Yeah, there's something I just thought now
Yes.
that when you said that Sandra comes from Alexandra,
Yes.
being kind of looking for the justice thing, but
Mhm.
Alexandra, the male counterpart is
Yes.
Alexander, and Alexander
Yes.
is the king. So now you are the queen.
Ah, thank you.
And yeah, and I think
Yes.
Alexander in the history
Yes.
always connotes strength,
Yes.
always connotes conquering.
Yes.
Alexander
Greatness.
conquered, greatness. And I think she conquered social media in the Cayman, not only in the Cayman Islands, because it's
Yeah, I know some of
spreads
your
out.
listeners also comes from the.
Oh my gosh.
And the
all over.
Philippines and the Filipinos that went home still watch CMR.
Yeah. They still keep in touch. They keep up
Yes.
with the news.
Guys, this is a very informative, a very
Enjoyable.
empowering.
Yes.
I mean,
Was.
I hope
this
you
is
enjoyed it.
this
Thank
is
you, I did.
this is not just an ordinary pep talk.
Yes.
It's an honor for us in Cayman Bayanihan to have here with us none other than CMR lady,
The Sandra Hill.
the Sandra Hill. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you,
so much.
ladies.
Thank you for gracing.
Sugar and spice. You guys gotta make
And
sure you
this
tune
is
into
our
their
everything
show.
nice.
Yes,
That's beautiful.
yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
for
so
having
much, guys. Just stay back. We will be back.
And
And
I'll give you the news on the weather because now we are on a hurricane season.
yes,
me. Yes.
just stick around, guys. We'll be right back. Hi.
Okay.
Hi, guys. We're still with Miss Sandra Hill. We can't get enough with her.
Stay put.
Yes. So this is a very, like what I've said, evening, and one information that Atisani wants to give you guys a heads up. We're already entering the hurricane season.
Starting June
Yes.
1 till November 30. So we have a very busy week. And this is just the latest from May 31 or
Mhm.
30. The remnants of Hurricane Agatha in the Eastern Pacific, which drenched resorts on Mexico's southern coast on Monday, are now merging with other systems, brewing up stormy weather in the northwestern Caribbean Sea, just as the 2022 Atlantic hurricane season opens. The U.S. National Hurricane Center said a large complex area of low pressure is expected to develop near the Yucatan Peninsula in a couple of days, which could become a tropical depression as it moves northeastward. Regardless of development, heavy rain is expected across the Cayman Islands this week.
Yes.
The bad weather is very likely to impact the planned celebrations for the Queen's Platinum Jubilee, especially the air show scheduled
Yes, I'm
for
excited.
Friday.
Yes,
CNS has
that's been
asked
canceled.
officials about the plans, and the government is expected to issue public notices sometime yesterday.
And that's been
Yesterday, because
canceled.
this is, yeah.
Remember,
Yeah.
had the first story after it was canceled.
Oh! Cayman Islands
You should
National
be reading from
Weather
Cayman already.
Yes.
circulated a severe weather notice warning of strong winds over
Yes.
holiday weekend and up to 3 inches of rain on Friday and Saturday. The 2022 Atlantic hurricane season officially starts Wednesday, and by the weekend, we could be looking at Tropical Storm Alex, the first of what is predicted by all forecasters to be a busy season. So from Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we are expecting thunderstorms, showers with winds and between 15 to 20, 25 knots, gusts from 30 to 35, wave heights of 4 to 8 feet, swells of 1 to 2 swells in feet, and rain 1 to 3 inches. So guys, be very, very careful on the road.
Yes.
Drive safely. Don't drink and drive, but you can have your coffee and this.
And tea. Just to remind also everyone, the reason why we have a lot of rain this year, because we're under the La Nina
Yes.
phenomenon. So that's why we have a lot of rains this year. And like what Ate Sani said, make sure that, you have to check your tires as well, because it's too slippery when the road is wet.
Yes.
And then just be careful in driving. You don't have to use that speed when it's raining. You have to consider the people that is also on the road. Road courtesy is very important. And don't drink, and don't when you have a drink, don't drive. Ask somebody to drive or have somebody pick you up.
Designated drivers.
Yes.
You be the designated drinker.
And about monkeypox?
Huh? Oh yeah.
So
They
we
were
have
saying-
we have a suspected case
No, yeah,
that
I
they're
just read it.
investigating it.
Mhm.
So
One local.
we'll have to
So
wait
will
and see.
you're gonna report it tomorrow?
Of course, you have to wait.
Yes.
Whatever is the news from CMR,
Yes.
just make sure to make yourself updated. Check it from time to time. Everything that's going on around the world and in the Cayman Islands. Check it with Cayman Marley.
CMR.
Yes, the CMR. And with that, Ate Sani,
We're going to close our program for tonight. That was very long, but there's only one Miss Sandra
Sandra
Hill.
Hill.
Yes. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
To all those who are watching us now, thank you for staying with us. And
Yes.
hopefully we will see you next time.
And guys, the next 2 days is going to be rainy. Stay dry.
And not
and
only
stay
next
safe.
2 days, it's up to Sunday. So
Yeah,
it's 4
but-
days.
Yes. So more. I said the next few days.
Oh,
Guys, she's starting to be spicy
She's
again.
spicy. She's
Yes.
very spicy.
And who's our guest next week?
Our guest next week
Was
is
provided by Miss Sandra,
who?
Dr. Acid.
Oh yes,
Siya nagkikita.
yes.
Yeah.
He is the neurologist, right? That who's going to give us a lot of information about aneurysm and because
We just-
in a lot of cases.
A
Yes,
lot of Filipinos have.
Oh, really?
yes.
Wow.
So there's a couple of cases. Yes.
Yes,
So
okay.
guys, next week again is another exciting Wednesday. And we will try also to have a few words from the people of the hazard management because Mr. Simon Boxall promised to give us some more information about this during hurricane season. So
We can
Yes.
invite him again.
yes, we might have also some of the flyers that they have. We will be definitely posting it in our Facebook page to give everybody,
Heads up.
a heads up or the prep. And you can go also to the groceries. They have these magazines where all the stuff that you need to prepare yourself for the incoming hurricanes. You have to stock. Do not panic buy, but at least have a
Be
little
prepared.
stock so you be prepared.
Do not panic, by just panic.
Yes. So this has been a very wonderful evening, and we want to thank all of you guys who stick with us, who is watching, and I know some of you will still be watching up to the following week because I know some of you are still at work.
Yes.
We thank you very much, and we want to say stay safe, like we've said, and stay dry. We will see you again next week.
Thank
Have
you.
a wonderful week ahead of you
Good
guys.
night.
God bless.
Good
Mabuhay.
night.